coconuts.
The long-awaited Moana sequel recently released a trailer showing snippets of the beloved Disney princess's adventure. The trailer shows Moana a few years older and wiser, acting as the chief of her people of Motunui. However, when she receives a call from her ancestors, she sets sail with a brand new crew and a few familiar faces to reconnect with her people across the ocean. So far, the sequel seems to be about Moana and her crew traveling to reconnect with other people who descend from the Wayfinders mentioned in the original film. If the sequel is about another journey across the sea, then one significant question remains unanswered. Who will be the main antagonist of Moana 2? In today's video, we'll discuss who the next villain in the franchise could be.
And reconnect our people across the entire ocean.
Number 1. Another chief. As the daughter of the previous chief, Tui, Moana knew from a young age that she would one day take his place as the leader of Motunui. Although she was drawn to the ocean whenever unattended, her parents did everything possible to make her feel content with her life on the island. When she came of age, Moana tried to accept the responsibility, trekking up a mountain to the place of chiefs, where she could place a rock among the rest, signifying she was ready to take her father's place. However, she finds herself on the adventure of a lifetime when she restores Te Fiti and lifts the curse threatening her people. When she returns home is to take her place as chief and reintroduce the art of sailing and navigation to her people. In the new trailer, Moana attempts to communicate with her ancestors in what appears to be the Cavern of Wayfinders, where the ancient chiefs placed their canoes and boats when the water became too dangerous to sail. She then claims that the ancestors are calling to them and that they must travel to reconnect with their people across the ocean. Moana and her crew will likely encounter numerous islands throughout the film with different tribes and communities. While some may have good intentions and want to reconnect with Motunui, there will likely be a few untrusted people. Some locations may continue to fear the ocean despite the old curse lifting, viewing Moana, Maui, and others as threats. However, after learning about Moana's connection to the sea or Maui's powers as a demigod, another chief may try to exploit them for personal gain.
One rule.
An old rule when there were fish.
A rule that keeps us safe
But Dad,
instead of endangering our people.
Number 2. A god or demigod. When Maui appears in the first film, he's arrogant and prideful. Instead of properly introducing himself to Moana, he sings a song describing his past feats, explaining why she should feel grateful for his interference despite being a stranger. He also tries to steal her boat, which isn't kind or friendly. The film reveals that Maui was abandoned by his biological parents and raised by the gods, who granted him his numerous abilities. However, his unique relationship with gods and humans left Maui feeling like he needed to prove himself and one-up his previous achievements. However, Moana helps him overcome these feelings and he becomes a much more generous and confident friend, on whom Moana can depend. Despite mentions of gods and demigods, Maui and Te Fiti are the primary entities in the first film. Now that Moana and her crew will travel longer distances to encounter new people, locations, and customs, they may find other gods and demigods along the way. Like in every story and mythology, not every god has good intentions. On their travels, they may meet another entity who directly opposes them, especially someone connected to the ocean like Moana. There's also potential for a god or demigod to have corruption and need help. The story could follow a similar storyline to Te Fiti, who had her heart stolen and became known as Taka. In her demonic form, she was responsible for the darkness that impacted Moana's people and prevented the Wayfinders from sailing.
The heart as a gift for you mortals, so you can have the power to create life itself.
Number 3. Tamatoa. One of the few antagonists is the giant crab Tamatoa. Moana and Maui encounter him when entering Lalotai, a realm full of monsters. Tamatoa loves anything shiny, covering his shell and home in the objects he has taken over the years. His most desired treasure is the heart of Te Fiti, which he has plotted to steal for centuries. His obsession with the heart drives him toward insanity and allows him to hold a grudge against Maui, who steals the heart before he can. Tamatoa and Maui have a long history with one another, as the latter is responsible for taking one of the crab's legs. Maui also receives a tattoo for defeating Tamatoa. Unfortunately, when Maui is banished after stealing Te Fiti's heart, his magical fishhook is lost at sea and later recovered by Tamatoa, who adds it to his collection. Maui and Moana go to Lalotai to retrieve the fishhook, where Moana encourages Tamatoa to discuss his greatness as a distraction. However, he's foiled before he can eat Moana or defeat Maui, leaving his story unfinished as the protagonists make their escape. Tamatoa may return in the sequel as a more prominent character. He's already shown that he's capable of meticulous planning and isn't afraid to attack his enemies, meaning he could bide his time until the right opportunity to strike. He may try to steal Te Fiti's heart or reenact revenge on Maui, one of his longtime enemies. He may also make allies with other sea monsters in Lalotai, inciting an army against Moana and her crew.
What have we here?
It's a sparkly, shiny... Wait a minute.
Number 4. The Kakamora. It's not surprising that Moana and Maui encountered dangers when they traversed the ocean. One of their formidable foes included the Kakamora, a group of coconut-themed pirates. Maui describes them as murderous, and the Kakamora live up to their reputation as they try to take the heart of Te Fiti from Moana. Unfortunately, Heihei swallows the heart and is kidnapped by the Kakamora, who present the rooster to their chief before preparing to retrieve the heart. Moana arrives to save Heihei before defeating the Kakamora. Maui navigates Moana's boat away from the threat, forcing the 3 Kakamora ships to collide with one another, leaving the pirates stranded at sea. Although the Kakamora aren't mentioned again throughout the rest of the film, they appear in the most recent trailer for Moana 2. During this, Moana and her crew approach a much larger colony of Kakamora, including a leader wearing similar headgear to those in the first film. If the Kakamora who sunk their ships survived, they may have returned to other members of their community and told stories of Moana and Maui. Viewed as enemies to their people, the Kakamora may be eager to stop Moana once and for all. Determined to ransack her ship and take anything of value from the crew, due to its magical properties, Maui's fishhook would be a significant treasure and resource.
Kakamora.
Kako what?
Murdering little pirates. Wonder what they're here for.
Number 5. A crew member. In the original film, Moana was forbidden from leaving the reef beyond Motunui due to how dangerous the ocean was. Determined to follow the ocean's call and achieve her destiny, Moana sets sail alone, attempting to restore Te Fiti's heart with Heihei as her only companion. Fortunately, her luck changes when she meets Maui, as she may not have succeeded in her goal without him. His sailing experience saved them from numerous threats and made Moana a great teacher. When Moana restores Te Fiti's heart and returns home, she restores the ancient tradition of traveling the sea to her people. As the chief of her tribe, she likely shared her stories about the ocean and taught others how to navigate safely. Motunui may be a community of modern wayfinders determined to reconnect with their ancestors, which directly leads to the plot of Moana traveling to meet lost descendants of her people. However, now that sailing isn't frowned upon, her next adventure will include numerous new characters, like her crewmates. In the trailer, Moana is joined by a young woman, a middle-aged man, and someone older who may have unique abilities and skills that make them perfect for Moana's expedition. Unfortunately, the trailer shows little about their personalities or relationships with Moana. While we can hope that the group will remain friends and allies throughout the film, there's a real possibility that the antagonist could be a traitor waiting for the best moment to strike. A crew member being the antagonist is a trope as old as time and is constantly used in media as a popular plot twist. A betrayal from a friend isn't something Moana and Maui will see coming, and it could become a near impossible challenge to overcome.
That's a chicken.
The heart is in the... We have to get him back.
Moana and Maui faced many challenges during their original journey. They outsmarted a sea monster, lifted a centuries-long curse, restored the heart of Te Fiti, and learned how to become friends along the way. It's safe to say that the pair will be prepared for any danger they face, especially now that they have a crew who can help them along the way. Luckily, Moana knows how dangerous the ocean can be, but her special connection with the water and her ancestors may pave the way for her next adventure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
I didn't mean... I wasn't... What? They're calling me, so I gotta... Bye!